Welcome to Part 1 of the SF424 Virtual Learning Series, presented by the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, Office of Conservation Investment, Division of Financial Assistance Support and Oversight, Systems and Training Branch. Part 1 focuses on completing the Office of Management and Budget, OMB, Standard Form 424, Application for Federal Assistance, also referred to as the SF424. Applicants complete this form when applying for federal financial assistance funding opportunities. This video provides applicants with guidance on how the form should be completed for Fish and Wildlife Service funding opportunities. Applicants can access the SF424 from the Grant Solutions application kit associated with the funding opportunity they are applying for. If the applicant is waived from using Grant Solutions, the current version of the form with instructions can be downloaded from grants.gov. Once downloaded, the applicant can either complete the form electronically or print the form and complete the fields manually. Next slide. This slide shows the top half of page 1 of the form. Let's go through each box individually. We'll start with boxes 1 through 7 and highlight each element with a red box as we go. In box 1, Type of Submission, select one type of submission in accordance with agency instructions. There are 3 choices: pre-application, application, and changed correction application. Box 2, Type of Application, is a required field. Select one type of application in accordance with agency instructions. Select New if the application is being submitted to the agency for the first time. Select Continuation if the application is being submitted for an extension for an additional funding or budget period for a project with a projected completion date. This selection can include renewals. Select Revision if there is any change to the federal agency's financial obligation or contingent liability from an existing obligation. If a revision, enter the appropriate letters. More than one letter may be selected. The options can be found in the form instructions. In box 3, Date Received is the date the application was received by the federal agency. When completing the form in Grant Solutions, this box is automatically populated. Applicants completing this form outside the system enter the date the form is submitted to the federal agency. Box 4, Applicant Identifier, is the entity identifier assigned by the federal agency, if any, or the applicant's control number, if applicable. In box 5A, Federal Entity Identifier, enter the number assigned to the organization by the federal agency, if any. Box 5B, Federal Award Identifier, enter the previously assigned Federal Award Identifier number, FAIN, for a continuation or revision application. For a changed or corrected application, enter the Federal Identifier in accordance with agency instructions. For new applications, leave this box blank. Boxes 6 and 7 are for state use only. All other applicants leave these boxes blank. Box 6, Date Received by State, is a date that will be assigned by the state, if applicable. Box 7, State Application Identifier, is the identifier that will be assigned by the state, if applicable. Next slide. This slide shows the bottom half of the first page, which is Box 8, Application Information. Box 8 has 6 parts. We'll walk through each part and highlight them with a red box as we go. In box 8A, Legal Name, enter the legal name of the applicant that will undertake the assistance activity. Box 8B, Employer Taxpayer Number, EIN, TIN, is the employer or taxpayer identification number as assigned by the Internal Revenue Service. This number is also referred to as the recipient's tax ID number. When completing the form in Grant Solutions, this box is automatically populated. Recipients reporting outside the system, except private citizens located in the United States, or any recipient located outside the United States, enter your organization's 9-digit EIN. If you are a private citizen located in the United States, enter 9 zeros. Do not enter your Social Security number. If you are a recipient located outside the United States, enter 9 fours. Box 8C UEI is the Unique Entity Identifier, which is the unique 12-character organization identifier assigned by SAM.gov. When completing the form in Grant Solutions, this box is automatically populated. Recipients reporting outside the system, except private citizens, enter your organization's UEI. If applying as a private citizen, enter 12 zeros. In box 8D, address, enter the street, the city, the county or parish, the state, if located in the United States, the province, the country, and the 9-digit zip or postal code if located in the United States. If the +4 of the zip code does not exist, enter 4 zeros. Box 8E, Organizational Unit, is the name of the primary organizational unit, department, or division that will undertake the assistance activity. Lastly, in Box 8F, name and contact information of the person to be contacted on matter involving this application, enter the first and last name and title of the responsible person. If affiliated with an organization other than the organization listed in Box 8A, enter the organizational affiliation. Also, enter the responsible party's telephone number, email address, and fax number in this section. Next slide. This slide shows the top half of page 2 of the form. Let's walk through boxes 9 through 11, highlighting each element with a red box as we go. In box 9, type of applicant, select applicant type. Select a minimum of 1 applicant type or up to 3 applicant types. If other is selected, specify the other type of applicant in the text box. For applicants completing this form in Grant Solutions or electronically, the applicant types can be found in the drop-down. For applicants completing this form manually, the applicant types can be found in the form instructions. Box 10, Name of Federal Agency. Enter the name of the federal agency from which assistance is being requested with this application. When completing the form in Grant Solutions, this box is automatically populated. Applicants completing this form outside the system, enter Department of Interior, U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service. In box 11, Catalog of Federal Domestic Assistance Number Title, enter the assistance listing number and title of the program under which assistance is being requested. For example, Sport Fish Restoration, 15.605, or National Wildlife Refuge Fund, 15.656. When completing the form in Grant Solutions, this box is automatically populated. For waived applicants, the service funding program name and its corresponding assistance listing number can be found in the Notice of Funding Opportunity. Next slide. This slide shows the bottom half of page 2. We will walk through boxes 12 through 15 and highlight each element with a red box as we go. Box 12, Funding Opportunity Number and Title. Enter the funding opportunity number and title under which the assistance is requested as found in the Notice of Funding Opportunity. When completing the form in Grant Solutions, this box is automatically populated. In box 13, Competition Identification Number and Title, enter the competition identification number and title under which assistance is requested, if applicable. Box 14, Areas Affected by Project, is a data element that is intended for use only by programs which the area or areas affected are likely to be different from the place or places of performance reported on the SF424 Project Performance Site Locations form. Lastly, box 15, Descriptive Title of Applicant's Project. Enter a brief descriptive title of the project. Next slide. This slide shows the top half of page 3. Let's walk through boxes 16 through 19, highlighting each element with a red box as we go. Box 16, Congressional Districts. Enter the applicant's congressional district in box 16A. In box 16B, enter the primary district affected by the program or project. The format in which it should be entered is the 2-character state abbreviation dash the 3-character district number. For example, For California 5th District, you would enter CA-005. If all congressional districts in a state are affected, enter all for the district number. For example, you would enter MD-all for all congressional districts in Maryland. If the program or project is outside of the United States, enter 5 zeros. In box 17, proposed project start and end dates, enter the proposed start date and end date of the project. Box 18, estimated funding, enter the amount requested or to be contributed during the first funding or budget period by each contributor. The value of in-kind contributions should be included on appropriate lines as applicable. If the action will result in a dollar change to an existing award, indicate only the amount of the change. Lastly, in box 19 is the application subject to review by state under executive order. Select of the 3 options as applicable. Applicants should contact the State Single Point of Contact (SPOC) for Federal Executive Order 12372 to determine whether the application is subject to the state intergovernmental review process. If A is selected, enter the date the application was submitted to the state. Next slide. This slide shows the bottom half of page 3. We'll walk through the final 2 boxes, boxes 20 and 21, and highlight them with a red box as we go. In box 20, is the applicant delinquent on any federal debt? Select the appropriate box. This question applies to the applicant organization, not the person who signs as the authorized representative. Categories of federal debt include, but may not be limited to, delinquent audit disallowances, loans, and taxes. If yes is selected, include an explanation in a separate attachment. Finally, box 21, Authorized Representative. The authorized representative must check the I agree box. Below that box, enter the first and last name, title, telephone number, and email address of the authorized representative. This box is to be signed and dated by the authorized representative of the applicant organization. When submitting this form in Grant Solutions, the name and date signed are completed upon submission. Next slide. On behalf of the FASO training team, we hope this instructional video has been helpful in understanding how to complete the SF424. For further questions, please consult with the Service Project Officer identified in the Notice of Funding Opportunity or Directed Announcement. Have a great day.